After 8 years in Europe studying medicine, Madhu returned to Aguilar with a big dream, to build a free community health center for his people. But his return wasn't greeted with celebration. It was met with suspicion. The villagers whispered. "Look at him. See how he carries himself. He didn't even greet properly. I heard he's now too educated to even attend town meetings." Madhu was quiet, not out of pride, but out of nature. He wasn't loud, he didn't socialize much, and he hardly spoke unless necessary. But in Aguilar, silence speaks louder than words. The villagers gossiped. He must be into ritual. How can one man afford to build a clinic alone? There's something not right with that Madhu. It was a quiet Wednesday morning when Stella, the daughter of Madame Grace, raised an alarm. Her mother's gold necklace, which was meant for her introduction ceremony, had gone missing. Stella, crying, panicked. It was right here. Inside this black nylon bag under the bench. I just saw it this morning. Madame Grace, shouting. Who entered this kitchen today? My husband is not even around. Oh. Villagers gathered quickly, as they always did when drama started brewing. That morning, there had been just 3 visitors in the compound. Stella's cousin, Uche. The bread delivery boy. And Madhu, who had dropped off leftover cement bags at the back for the community project. Stella, pointing toward Madhu's direction. It's him. That man. That Madhu. He was standing right behind the kitchen just 30 minutes ago. I saw him through the curtain. Her voice cracked with emotion. But her words sealed his fate. A man in the crowd shouted. Ah! Didn't I say this guy was moving suspiciously that day at the market? Another added. He doesn't greet anybody. He's too quiet to be clean. Madhu, calm but confused. I came to drop materials, not to enter your house. I've never even stepped into this kitchen before. Please, think carefully. Mama Grace, angrily interrupting. Then how come you're the only outsider that entered here this morning? You want to disgrace me during my daughter's introduction? Madhu tried to explain. But his calm tone only made the villagers angrier. They wanted outrage. They wanted confession. Not reason. And in Aguilar, being logical was dangerous when emotions were high. Madhu said softly. Let's search everywhere. I didn't take anything. Maybe someone else. One of the villagers interrupted. Shut up. You think you're smarter than everyone because you went abroad? No one wanted to listen. They had made up their minds. The girl's tears spoke louder than his quiet truth. By midday, the entire village had gathered at the square. It wasn't a trial. It wasn't a hearing. It was an execution of character. No judge. No evidence. No investigation carried out. Just voices, accusations, and noise. Village youth leader, shouting. Madhu, speak now. Where is the necklace? Don't waste our time. Madhu, breathing heavily, trying to explain. I didn't take it. I swear by the God of my fathers, check my bag, check my pockets. You won't find anything. His backpack was snatched and turned upside down. Only papers, a water bottle, and a notebook fell out. Still, the anger didn't fade. Stella's uncle sneered. That's how smart thieves operate. They hide things elsewhere. So you're now above stealing, eh? Just because you came back with Oyabo accent? Madhu's heart pounded. Not because he was guilty, but because he realized something worse. No one came to hear the truth. They came to confirm what they already believed. Old woman, from the crowd. Even my dreams warned me about him. That night he came, I saw a snake crawling into our village. Another man, mocking tone. Let's beat the confession out of him. He's still pretending. Two men stepped forward, one grabbed Madhu by the collar, slapped him across the face. The crowd gasped, but said nothing. A boy threw sand at him. Another spat on him. Madhu, voice cracking. Please. I didn't do this. I came here to help. But his words melted into the noise. The elders sat silently, none intervened. A man who had returned to build a health center was now being broken publicly by the very people he came to serve. Village chief, finally speaking. Enough. He should leave the village until further notice. Let him go and think about his actions. If the necklace is found, well, decide what to do next. Madhu limped away slowly, bruised, dusty, and broken. He looks back once. No one meets his gaze. Not even the boy he once gave school sandals. And just like that, Agulu had turned its back on Madhu. No trial. No proof. Just assumptions, whispers. And silence in the face of injustice. Days passed. The necklace was never found. But in Agulu, silence doesn't prove innocence, it only deepens suspicion. Madhu became a ghost among his own people. Madhu walked into Mama Nkechi's stall to buy orange juice. She looks away and ignores him. Madhu, quietly. Mama Nkechi. Please, I just need juice. Mama Nkechi, cutting him off, harshly. Go and ask the person you sold the necklace to. I don't sell to thieves. Children pointed at him and giggled. Market women whispered when he walked past. Even his fellow kinsmen crossed the road to avoid greeting him. Madhu sat alone in his room. A small kerosene lamp flickered beside him. He held a framed photo of his late parents. He then wiped a tear away. Madhu, softly, to himself. Papa. Mama. I tried. But this place doesn't want me. At night, the memories kept him awake. The slap. The shame. The fact that no one, not even one elder, had stood up for him. The community contractor met him the next day and gently said, Dr. Madhu, I respect you, but I have to pull out. The people. They don't want this project anymore. Some even said you're using it to bury charms. Madhu, speechless. His lips tremble, but he says nothing. He only nods slowly. At the clinic site, Madhu removed his white engineer's helmet, dropped it on a pile of wet cement, and walked away. The wind blows hard. Papers scatter. A rusted nail pierces through his slipper, but he doesn't even flinch. His mind is elsewhere. That was the day something inside Madhu snapped. Not in anger. Not in violence. But in quiet surrender. Back in his room, he packs his certificates into a brown envelope. He opens a tin box and removes a folded letter addressed to the elders of Agulu. He places it gently on the table. In that letter, he wrote no insults, no bitterness, no threats. Just this. I returned with a dream, but I found rejection. I came to give, but I was stripped of even my name. I forgive you all. Not because you deserve it, but because I choose peace. One day, you'll realize I only wanted to help. I'm leaving, not because I'm guilty, but because I no longer belong here. Madhu steps out at dawn with a small bag. He stops at the front of the compound, looks at the unfinished health center one last time. Then walks away, head down, but posture dignified. That morning, the roosters crowed as usual. Life in Agulu continued as if nothing happened. But a seed of regret had already begun to sprout in the dust he left behind. The streets of Agulu remain the same, dusty, quiet, the sun rises as usual. But there's a noticeable absence, one that grows louder with each passing day. When Madhu left, no one said goodbye. No one asked where he was going. No one even noticed the exact day he disappeared. But within weeks, his absence began to speak. The health center site, abandoned. The weeds had grown taller. The iron rods stood like skeletons of a dream never fulfilled. The villagers walked past it daily, pretending not to see what could have been. The contractor never returned. The bags of cement hardened into stone. The roofing wood was taken away by thieves at night. And the health center that would have saved lives became a playground for goats and chickens. A small girl, burning with fever, is carried by her mother on a motorbike, heading to a health center 3 towns away. Her father mutters under his breath, softly, "If that boy had finished this place, we wouldn't be suffering like this." The whispers began slowly. Men sitting at a palm wine joint. The first man said, "That boy. Madhu. Maybe we were too quick to judge." The second man then added, "Too quick. We destroyed him. That boy came with a gift. We gave him wounds." Stella was walking past the old health center. She then paused. Her face was stiff with guilt. She clutched the necklace, the very one she falsely claimed was stolen. You see, Stella found the necklace under her bed 2 days after the accusation. She never told anyone. And by the time she wanted to, Madhu was already gone. Madame Grace prayed loudly at the village church. "Lord, forgive me if we judged wrongly. Have mercy on Agilu. Let peace come to this land." But peace cannot sit where injustice is the foundation. And healing does not begin until truth is acknowledged. A letter arrived at the village chief's house, bearing the stamp of an international organization. It's addressed from Nairobi, Kenya. The chief opens it slowly. His eyes widen. He calls for the elders. "We congratulate Dr. Madhu Kalu on his recent award for humanitarian service across Africa. His first project, an abandoned clinic in a town called Agilu, inspired a chain of medical outreaches now serving over 18 rural communities." The room falls silent. One of the elders sighed and then said, "The boy we chased away is the one lifting others." Another elder calmly added, "Maybe we chased away our own light." They wrote letters. They sent people to trace him. They begged. But Madhu never responded. Not out of pride, but out of deep disappointment. Stella sat under a mango tree, writing a letter with shaky hands. Stella whispers, "Madhu, if you ever see this, I'm sorry. I lied. And I've lived with that guilt every single day. But the truth is, some apologies come too late. Some bridges, once burned, can never be rebuilt. And some wounds never fully heal." Life after Madhu continued. But it never remained the same. Communities in strange lands treated Madhu with deep love and respect. They welcomed him with open arms, celebrated him as one of their own, and cherished him genuinely, more than his own people ever did. He built health centers in the most neglected corners of Africa, where hope had long vanished. To these people, Madhu wasn't just a name. He was a lifeline. A quiet, humble savior. And to this day, he never defended himself to those who once tore him down. He let his work speak. He let his light shine. Because in a world that often refuses to listen, actions, louder than words, always echo the truth sometimes. No matter how loud you explain, people only hear what fits their beliefs. Don't waste your time with explanations. Guard your peace, walk your truth, and let time reveal what words cannot. If this story touched you, please like, comment, and subscribe. Have you ever been misjudged? Or judged someone wrongly? Let's talk about it below. This is Geraldinho Stories, where every story teaches a lesson.